Are you struggling with feeling stuck in your life journey? Does it seem as if the challenges or conflicts that you keep experiencing are on repeat? Healing through feeling could be your new way through to a more satisfying life. Now, here is the host of the Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show, licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide, Sharyn Nichols.
Well, oh my gosh. Well, hello, welcome. I apologize. I'm so excited to be here. As some of you may know, I took a couple of weeks off and because I marched into spring and I am just feeling so rejuvenated. And for those of you who are listening for the first time, because everything, my brain just fell out of my head. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Feel to Heal show with myself, Sharyn Nichols, on the incredible Inspired Choices Network. I'm just going to take a breath. Oh my goodness. I have been so excited and so looking forward to being patient with you all today. I cannot get over how much fun and I have had with patience and noticing and just being in the noticing of where it was showing up in my world. So for those of you just tuning in, I am Sharyn Nichols. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist in the state of California, and I am a self-proclaimed life guide. I have been doing this for 27 years, and I truly do just love helping people get out of your own way, helping you get out of your own way, moving away from it being all about you to making it about you and incorporating the other. Because, yes, end of the day, you truly only care about yourself. Makes sense. Your survival is the only thing of utmost importance at every given moment. You always need to make sure you have enough air to breathe. You always need to make sure you have enough water to drink, food in your belly, and then shelter, roof over your head. So yes, your basic needs always come first. And that being said, once those needs are met, then we make some judgments about it and we have some thoughts about it as to how it is supposed to look. And it's that we get all jumbled up in our heads and we think we then personalize it and then we think it's supposed to be about us or it's not supposed to be about them. All of the shoulding, all of the judgment, all of the just going to take a deep breath. All the things that we do to ourselves that actually prevent us from having the things that we want in our lives. So that will bring us back around to patience. Because most of us here on the planet, 70% of us are generators, and then 21% of us are projectors. And so generators need to wait to respond. Projectors need to wait to be invited. And so that's a good 90% of the population that needs to wait. And waiting means patience. But I'm going to come back around to that. First, I'd like to start with a little meditation because I found this great meditation by, her name is Katie Krimitsos. She is from the Women's Meditation Network. And as soon as I read it and I sat with it, I'm like, this is so perfect. I don't even think I could write a better one. So let's all receive a breath, me included. And let's begin by bringing our attention, your attention, to your breath. Bringing you away from the thoughts and the emotions that are swirling around you. Lord knows I have been talking about them a lot, and I would love nothing more than for you to be present. So finding comfort in the simple movement as you inhale and exhale, breathing in and breathing out, letting your breath expand just a little bit deeper and a little bit longer. Slowing you down, bringing you present. Your body may be asking for your attention. Perhaps your nose itches, or your arm wants to move, or maybe your leg wants to stretch. Without responding to any of these requests, just see if you can simply notice what your body is asking. Just sit with it, resisting the urge to scratch or stretch or move just for a little bit. And instead, just focus on your breath. Bring yourself back to the breath, breathing out any discomfort that you may be feeling in your exhale. Now see if you can recognize any thoughts that you may be having. Thoughts that may be telling you to do something, or thoughts reminding you of the tasks that you have to do today, had to do today, still get to do. And now see if you can imagine these thoughts as clouds floating above you. You here, separate from them, choosing in this moment not to engage in their demands, but instead sitting here patiently, calmly, in the space of presence and nothingness. Just being. Focusing again instead on your breath. In and out, and watching the clouds go by. Now allowing yourself to feel the spaciousness, the power of being still, the beauty of not reacting, the power of patience. Now, see if you can think of a recent moment when you were impatient. Perhaps it was in a heated moment with a loved one, or out in public with a stranger, or in private with yourself. Just bring that scene to mind, letting go of any judgments or emotions that are coming up. Notice them floating away, just like those clouds of moments ago. And as you see this moment, see if you can breathe that spaciousness into it with every breath out, showering it with love, compassion, and patience every time you exhale. Forgive yourself for all those times when you have not been patient with yourself or anyone else. And hold on to this feeling right now, this openness, this calmness, this lightness, so you can call upon it the next time you want to be more patient. Receiving a breath. Being calm and still. Always remembering to practice being present. Always breathing yourself back to this exact moment, to your breath. And when you are ready, allowing your eyes to open and bringing yourself back into the room, touching, scratching, just being in the moment. And thank you so much from the Women's Meditation Network for that incredible meditation. And thank you so much for tuning in to the Feel to Heal show with myself, Sharyn Nichols. And if you are looking to get in touch with me, which I hope that you do, you can reach me at feeltoheal.com and click on how to contact me. Go to my website. Of course, my email is SharynNichols@feeltoheal.com. And I welcome all thoughts, all feelings, all actions and reactions. Anything that you want to share, anything that you feel as though it has helped you or supported you, or anything more that you would love to hear from me. I'm so open because as a generator, I'm always waiting to respond. So please, please, please give me something to respond to. And so when we come back from break, I am going to respond to more about patience. So thank you so much for tuning in. We just listened to a meditation, and I look forward to see what happens when I take some time off. I look forward to you coming back after the break so we can dive into being patient. Just being still. See you back in a moment. Thank you for listening to the Feel to Heal show.
At different times on our life journey, we can feel stuck and struggle with seeing our way through. What if the answer to the struggle is just to go deeper than the surface? By tuning in to Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show, with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols, you'll receive insight and guidance on exploring your feelings in order to heal yourself. Are you ready to create a more satisfying, peaceful, and successful life? Listen for the Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Mountain, and 3 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, You can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols Show with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also ask questions or comments by email by sending to Sharyn Nichols at feeltoheal.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Feel to Heal show with myself, Sharyn Nichols, and today we are talking about patience. There's so much. It's not overwhelming. There's just so much, and patience is so simple that yet we make it so big. And I chose to do the show on patience because I kept hearing patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. What the hell does that actually even mean? I mean, we know what virtues are. And so when someone says the phrase patience is a virtue, it's actually like pointing at you and saying like you're doing something wrong, because patience is a virtue implies that you don't have patience. So it's like, how can patience actually be a virtue? Well, I know it can be, although we see that as, at least, let me strike that. I used to think that saying patience is a virtue is actually a positive thing, although I started scratching my head and thinking, wait a second, it's actually really not that positive. It's like someone is pointing out something that you are not doing. And so now you need patience. You need patience with the other person because they're obviously judging you in the moment. And it can throw you off when someone says patience is a virtue, because we all have our own idea as to how long something is supposed to take and how long it is supposed to take for us to do it or for someone else. Waiting. So I know I started with patience as a virtue because waiting is always really good. Like I said, 90% of us need to wait for something. And then 50% of us, again, with the human design, 50% of us have emotional authority, which means you must wait before you respond. You need to ride your emotional wave. So we constantly are needing to wait. And yet now, somewhere along the way, waiting has gotten a bad rap. Waiting's actually good. I have been so patient this past week, living it, and so grateful that I have not been rushing to do anything. I've been showing up on time everywhere because I've been so patient with myself and therefore patient with everybody else. And I've been blown away, truly blown away by the fact that actually preaching, living what I preach, how it actually really works if you actually really do it. It's, at the end of, an AA meeting or any of the anonymous meetings, you say the serenity prayer, and then they always say, if you work it, it works, keep coming back. And it's true. If you work it, it works. And each and every time I am blown away. And it's because I had patience. because I had patience to see whether it would actually work. And I gave it the breath with which it needed to work. I'm going to go back to the definition of patience. Because then this definition always reminds me and brings me back to being a little kid. So, patience is a noun, the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering. And here's the kicker: without getting angry or upset. So today is tax day here in the United States. And I attempted to pay online and found out that there was a whole issue. So I then had to scramble and get everything done and get it to the post office. And so it was stamped today. And I knew I had to get ready for the show. And of course, I always want to look over everything, and I do the meditation before. And I have my own routine, and I'm like, okay, this threw me off my routine. And so now I have two ways of going with this. I can choose to just be patient and allow for however long it's going to take for me to get to the post office, for me to wait in line, and then for me to get home. And I knew that if push came to shove, literally, that I just needed to be home 1 hour before so I could shower, put on my makeup, do whatever I needed to do, look over everything, and be sitting in the chair. So I was giving myself 2 full hours to do this because I'm in Los Angeles. Who knows what could happen with traffic? Who knows how long the line would be? And so I was just going to just be, and I was just going to allow. And I have to tell you, I was in complete and utter shock. When I walked into the post office, there was no line. There were 3, postal people helping, and there was no line. I was next. Although when I left, the line was 10 people long, and there was no traffic going there or coming back. And I did it all in a half hour. I was beside myself, positively. And I attribute it to patience. I really do. I attribute it to the fact that I was just patient, that I was just going to allow it to take as long as it was going to take, and that I was not going to get frustrated, that I was not going to be a victim of the post office, of the government, of today, of any of it. I was just going to allow and breathe. And now I could have also created something else, and I could have just been frustrated, which I've done so many times before. Because here's the thing. 70% of us are not themes as generators, and manifesting generators in human design is frustration. And aren't you just tired? Aren't you just exhausted from being frustrated all the time? Because yes, we need to wait to respond. And so our fear as a generator is that we won't have anything to respond to. So we get frustrated out from fear of not having anything to respond to. And so rather than going out now and looking for things, I just wait. And it's incredible how many things and how many times I've been given things to respond to. Like today, I did not know that I was going to have to go to the post office. I thought for the past month that I would not have to go to the post office, that I would be able to do all the filing and make all the payments online. And then, of course, there was a glitch. And could so easily be sitting here and telling you a different story and going on about how, can you believe the government? Can you believe this happened to me? Can you believe how long the line was at the post office? Can you believe? Victim, victim, victim. Frustration, frustration, frustration. And because I have been practicing patience all week long, I truly believe that's why I had no issue. And why today of all days, I had enough time in case something went wrong. There's been so many other show days where I've been right up to the edge because I've been so working with the topic, and I have been so just in avoidance and just so frustrated with myself. And I'm now at a point where for every show, I'm going to be practicing patience because this is the only way for me to go. Like, I don't want to experience anything other than what I experienced today, even with the major wrench that was thrown into my day and into my plan. So, patience. Let's talk about instant gratification, because that's what also the biggest thing about us. And that's bringing back to what I referred to earlier in terms of being a child. We all want instant gratification because when we were babies, we would cry and then we'd want to be attended to, because that was what was the most important thing. For us as babies, we'd cry and we want the instant gratification. And so we would scream and wail, and the louder we were, the quicker somebody would come. So the more angry and frustrated that we got with ourselves as babies, the quicker somebody would come. So then as we continue to grow and get older, the more frustrated we would be, the more angry we would get, the quicker someone would come to help us not be so frustrated and angry. So instant gratification that we felt as children is everywhere. And being generators and then also projectors, the 21% of us that are waiting to be invited, waiting to be recognized, and then waiting to be invited for the gifts that you have as a projector. Again, we're all looking for instant gratification. We all want to be told how incredible we are. We all want to be given really easy things to respond to. Or if we are given something that's even difficult, patience. Taking a breath, as I've been saying since I started this wonderful podcast. Breathing, being present. So practicing the presence is practicing the patience. It's about waiting, taking a breath before you respond, taking a breath when you are triggered before you respond. Patience is not only the ability to wait, but how you act while you are waiting. Actions speak louder than words. So when we come back from break, we're going to talk more about the ability to wait and how important it is to wait before acting. So thank you so much for tuning into this segment of the Feel to Heal show. We're just talking about patience and waiting. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about it. I look forward to seeing you back in a moment. Thank you for listening to the Feel to Heal show with myself, Sharyn Nichols. See you back in a moment.
At different times on our life journey, we can feel stuck and struggle with seeing our way through. What if the answer to the struggle is just to go deeper than the surface? By tuning in to Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show, with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols, you'll receive insight and guidance on exploring your feelings in order to heal yourself. Are you ready to create a more satisfying, peaceful, and successful life? Listen for the Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Mountain, and 3 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show, with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also ask questions or comments by email by sending to Sharyn Nichols at feeltoheal.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Feel to Heal show with myself, Sharyn Nichols, and today's topic is patience. And if you're just tuning in for the first time today, please know that you can find me at feeltoheal.com and my email. Please reach out, Sharyn Nichols at feeltoheal.com, and I would love to connect with you. And if patience is something that you need help with, meaning support, and moving past the frustration and anchoring in the waiting, I'm your gal. Please reach out. I would love to be in conversation. I can give you some more tips and tools that would be specifically for you. And I am just so excited. I'm so excited to be patient. It's been so incredible. I know I feel like I'm just being so effusive, more so than ever. And I'm really loving this topic. So thank you for tuning in. And patience. So in the last segment, I was talking about how 50% of us need to ride our wave and wait to respond in terms of emotional authority, and that 90% of us need to wait to 70% need to wait to respond, 20% need to wait to be invited and recognized. And so it is about waiting, the waiting game. And it's all good. Waiting is good. Patience is good. Because I've had these thoughts like, good things come to those who wait. What the fuck does that mean? And why do, when somebody says it, does it make your skin want to crawl? Why has something so positive and truthful turned into something that is just a dig? Again, it's like somebody telling you that patience is a virtue. It's like, you want to do that to them. And good things come to those who wait. Again, no. It's all about what you create for yourself. So if you choose, here's the choice. You get to choose. If you choose patience, you choose waiting, then there's a greater possibility that good things will come, and that you will be given peace. You'll be given success and satisfaction. So today, in leading up to today and me having to go to the post office and the choice that I made, because I really did think about this. I did think that if I chose to just be stomping my feet and just be fucking annoyed that this is what I have to do and it just sucks, that I could have created coming in and being the 11th person in line as opposed to being the first person. I could have easily created that because I know I have in the past. And I'm now making a huge assumption here that you all have experienced something like this. You all have created for yourself some sort of frustration, some sort of being a victim, either being so small or being big. And that's one of the reasons why that's what I loved about the meditation earlier in the show, was about something you created for yourself, something you created for someone else, and then what you did for you, like something that happened to you or something that you then just did all alone by yourself. Because we can be our own worst enemies. I feel like I'm digressing. However, I promise I will bring it back around. Because I know I've mentioned before when it comes to when I was talking about forgiveness and punishment, that my mother never felt as though she ever really needed to punish me, because how I beat myself up was enough. And now I see that by me being frustrated with myself and me focusing on the past and what I had done wrong, or me being so worried about what the future was going to look like, that I couldn't be patient, that I was only creating more and more frustration. Being present. Patience is presence. Presence is patience. So I want to talk about the power of patience and the importance of patience as a coping skill and how to achieve it. And this came from Judith Orloff, who is an MD, and she's written multiple books, and I found this on Psychology Today, and she just says it so well. And so I'm going to paraphrase a lot of what she said. I just need to give her credit because she was the originator of the ideas, and she talks about how patience is an invaluable skill that she teaches her clients. And the biggest thing that got to me and why it really stuck out is because she says that frustration is not the key to opening any door. Patience is a lifelong spiritual practice and is one of the biggest, hugest ways to find emotional freedom. Oh. So frustration, there is no freedom in frustration. There's such freedom in patience, in waiting. You always have a choice. Always. And I've been saying that in every single show. You always have a choice. You can always choose in the moment to be the victim of yourself, to be a victim of what's actually happening. And taking a breath and waiting to respond is what ultimately will save you from being the victim going forward. Yes, shit happens. Traumatic things happen. We are actually all victims of someone, of something. I'm not taking that away. And I know the importance of the acknowledgement that we have all had traumatic experiences, and that no one's is bigger or better. No one's is less than or more than, because it happened to you. And it doesn't matter how horrific. You can always look up. You can always look down. There will always be somebody who had it easier, and there'll always be somebody who had it harder, even if yours was the fucking hardest. And even if yours was the fucking easiest, I guarantee you there's going to be somebody who has more or less. And if you can have patience with yourself and let go of holding on to the things that aren't serving you, the frustration, I guarantee you, your frustration is not serving you. You keeping yourself stuck. And so, in my intro, it's about giving up the struggle. It's about giving up the frustration, letting it go, be done, go away. I don't need you anymore. You don't serve me. And believe me, I can be a really good victim. I still know how. It hasn't stopped. It hasn't gone away from me. And shit still happens. People still come at me. I can easily make myself a victim. I can make myself a victim of the past. I can make myself a victim of the future. I could even make myself a victim right here, right now. Always a choice. I can make myself a victim of the air temperature. It's either too hot or too cold. I mean, yes, perhaps I am pulling at straws, although there's always something from me to respond to. Because yes, I'm part of the 70% that is a generator. So going back to Dr. Judith Orloff, because I thought this was great. So we always need, I looked away for a moment. She's like, we need a new bumper sticker that says frustration happens. Instead of shit happens, frustration happens, because every morning, noon, and night, there are plenty of good reasons to be impatient. That's what I've been saying, and I totally agree with her. There's always another long line, telemarketers, a goal isn't materializing fast enough. It's not happening fast enough. Instant gratification. What are we going to do? Sorry. I know. I apologize. For saying sorry. I'm just really animated because things just blew up for me. I finally, or at least today in this moment, I'm letting go of being frustrated. You go do you. You be you. I support you. You want to be frustrated with your life, with anything, with yourself, even with me. Have at it. I welcome it. And if I am doing something that is so impinging on you, if you so are a victim of me, which you very well could be, just even listening to this, you could be like, Sharyn, what the fuck? And then I apologize and I'll take responsibility for my part in causing whatever it is. Although you need to take responsibility for your part and the fact that you probably didn't have any patience. Thank you for listening to this segment of the Feel to Heal show with myself, Sharyn Nichols, and we're talking about patience. And we're going to take a short break And when we come back, we're going to talk more about patience and being patient. And then I'm going to wrap it all up because this has been so much fun for me. So I'll see you back in a moment. Be right back.
At different times on our life journey, we can feel stuck and struggle with seeing our way through. What if the answer to the struggle is just to go deeper than the surface? By tuning in to Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show, with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols, you'll receive insight and guidance on exploring your feelings in order to heal yourself. Are you ready to create a more satisfying, peaceful, and successful life? Listen for the Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Mountain, and 3 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. This is Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show, with licensed marriage and family therapist and life guide Sharyn Nichols. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also ask questions or comments by email by sending to Sharyn Nichols at feeltoheal.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Feel to Heal show with myself, Sharyn Nichols. And the last segment, we were talking about patience and the power of patience. And patience doesn't mean passivity or resignation. Patience is actually power. I mean, that's why I'm feeling so good right now. I'm feeling so empowered within myself. So it is emotionally freeing, practicing, waiting, watching, taking a breath before acting. I can't stress this enough, how powerful I feel, because it finally clicked. I finally got it. Being patient and waiting is so powerful. Again, I am not being a doormat. I am not being a pushover. I'm waiting. I'm waiting, and I'm taking a moment to not go to my automatic reaction to a trigger. Because chances are you've been conditioned to react to a trigger. It's not even yours. I know I've talked about this before, how many triggers your parents instill them. Some of them you come in with, it's ancestral. I believe in the lineage up and down. And so it doesn't even matter where it came from, how it was even installed, who installed it. That's just you continuing to be frustrated and being the victim. And so, take a breath before you react. Take a breath before you do the automatic. And I know I keep saying it, and I know it's so simple, and yet it seems so hard. Because if it's really, truly that easy, why isn't everybody doing it? Because we have this belief that everything needs to be hard won. Otherwise, then we didn't actually do it enough. Because all of this is just so all intertwined. Sorry. It's all so intertwined. We are incredibly complex, amazing beings. So you always have a choice. You get to choose the frustration or choose the waiting and the patience, and not assign negativity to waiting. Patience gives you the ability to take a step back and regroup and give yourself the moment. All things that I have been saying over and over and over again. Conquering frustration can revive you by making it easier to make the choices for yourself. And then also how to handle the hassles and the stresses of the day. Makes it easier to let them go. I used to get so frustrated when I would get cut off on the freeway. I absolutely was a victim of everyone cutting me off, of people driving too slow, of people driving too fast, of just people getting in my way. And now I just have patience, because if people are driving too slow, that must mean that I did not leave enough time to get where I need to go safely. That's on me. It's not their fault. It's about me now taking responsibility. So I now have a choice. Am I going to get frustrated with someone else? Or am I going to get frustrated with myself? Or am I just going to be patient? Allow myself the humanness, take my time, show up as close to as possible. I think you're with me. And then therefore just be calm, be patient, be in the moment, allow myself my humanness, allow. So the true value of practicing patience is our ability to not allow outside people or circumstances to dictate our state of being. And it also helps us to surrender to what is instead of fighting to make things how we want them to be. I know that's really hard to get. Because when you are actually a true victim, you want to change the situation. You want to have more control. You want to be able to dictate exactly how your life is each and every moment. And unfortunately, it doesn't work that way because we are here to respond, which means that we need to wait to respond. We need to wait to be given things to respond to. Patience. Exercising patience does not mean that you never protest or give up, but only ever doing so as your choice. It's never pointless. It's never petty or impetuous. Nor it doesn't mean withholding either. Because life is too short to wait, but it's not too short for patience. Thank you so much for tuning into today's show, the Feel to Heal show on patience. Next week, we're going to talk about nourishment because we are all depleted. And so how we can nourish ourselves. I look forward to seeing you all back here next week. You might as well be yourself. Everyone else is taken. See you back here next week. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for choosing to listen to the Feel to Heal with Sharyn Nichols show. Sharyn Nichols will return next Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Mountain, and 3 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, give up the struggle, feel all you need to feel, and make this week your best one yet.